you level up. Okay, hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today, Brad, we're going to talk about the 7 best bicep, tricep workout you can do at home or office without weights. Now, we're not saying without equipment, we're saying without weights.
And absolutely a bare minimum of equipment, but some
Right.
of it is very little.
Right.
So what say you, Bob? Shall we get to work?
Let's get to, well, first, let's do the laundry here
There you
first,
go.
Brad. If you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, go over to Facebook and like us because Brad and I like to be liked. Okay, where are we at?
Okay, Bob, the first simple one, and this is very basic technique. It's very efficient. You get both the bicep and the tricep. It's not going to build great big muscles, but it's going to work the muscles, and you simply go like this.
Oh, isometric.
Isometrics, and you push up with one hand, push down with the other, and the resistance matches, so there's no movement, and you push.
And you're actually getting a little chest, too.
Oh yeah, 6 to 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And you'll be amazed that you're going to get fatigued and your heart rate comes up a little bit.
I'm winning, and I'm losing at the same time.
Yeah, you can play little games like that. Yeah. And that's a great one to do, like if you're at the office.
Sure.
You know, and you want to work that. And you go this way, make sure you switch hands because that changes which muscles get used in the
Right.
You know, the brachial, the radialis versus the bicep, blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so there's your starter mode, okay? The next, now the bicep is a little bit harder to come up with ideas on how to exercise it without anything.
Any equipment at all.
Versus a tricep.
Right.
For my findings, anyway.
Right.
But this is a nice one. I like this one because not only does it work your bicep, but it's a nice stretch on the hip. If you can do the figure 4 like this is what we call the figure 4. Take your hand like this and go underneath right here, and we're just simply going to, and I'm going to start here because I like to do my biceps as much range of motion as possible.
I'm jumping ahead.
There you go. Bob's already going. Now, if you got a really flexible hip, I'm only going about 50% range of motion, but it's working. There we go.
It actually does work.
Yeah. 10 to 15 repetitions.
You're getting a stretch and strengthening at the center. I actually am fatiguing already.
Yeah,
My muscles fatiguing.
Well, of course. You think I'd just make these up out of
I'm a
nowhere?
little shocked, Brad. I didn't think this was going to be...
I got to do the other side so I
thought
balance
you were a
out.
little-
Otherwise, I'm going to start walking.
I thought you were a little wacky.
Well, Bob, I've been accused of that once before. He's not doing so well.
Or 10 times.
Okay. The next one. This is your specialty, Bob.
All right.
This is a really good idea. I don't even know that anybody else has discovered or came out with this.
That's right. I invented it.
Yeah.
So basically, you're just going to
Bicep Bob.
take a roll towel or sheet, and you're going to go ahead like this. You get your hands in place, and now you're going to pull up like this. And you go, of course, you can give as much resistance or little resistance as you want.
And typically, someone's hip and leg is stronger than their biceps. So you,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's not even close.
Right.
I mean,
Especially with Bob.
if I go like this, I can stop it.
Maybe you can play a little game with yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Huh?
I can definitely stop it. You know what's nice about this, Brad, is you can do eccentric strengthening here, too.
There you go.
So
He's going up.
I'm strengthening while I'm straightening. So
And, you know, you can see Bob's at work. He's got his tie on. You want to do some bicep strengthening. You get your towel out, lay down on the floor, and to go at it.
I imagine you could do it this way, too.
Yeah, you could, I think, Bob, right in the chair.
So, yeah, that works, too.
Sure.
If you don't have the hip flexibility to go the other way, or if you have a hip replacement,
Sure.
so you're going to get a little hip extension and hip strengthening.
Right. Now,
So I'm all pumped up now.
I know it's amazing, isn't it? What you can do without going out and buying $5,000 worth of steel and whatnot.
Right.
Which is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Now, I am going to suggest, for me, I really like, spend $5 or $10 on a band. Here, why don't you work that one?
You can get a band set, fairly inexpensive.
Right. And you could just buy singular ones, too. I mean, usually you don't order them online, but like that. But you can go to the store. And I like the loop ones, but you don't have to do it as a loop. And a standing bicep curl.
Or seated.
Yep, and you
Seated.
can do it seated. If you're in the office and you just want to, get your biceps out, your exercises out when you're at break, 10-minute break, or maybe you could type with one hand and do the curls with the other and then switch like that, huh? We're talking efficiency, Bob.
By the way, for those of you who are critical of bands, by the way, I've just been reading the book by Tom Brady. And
Tom Brady's the football player.
Football player, won 5 Super Bowls, and he's still playing at age 40.
Right.
90% of his workouts are with bands.
There you go.
So
that says a little bit
yeah,
there.
it does.
It says a lot of it, actually.
So
yeah, you can do these in the seated position. And this is probably the best way to do it as far as ease of doing it. Now, one thing that you may want to do when you're doing your bicep curls, I know, Bob, you emphasize this a lot, is not just to go palm up,
Right.
but you can do thumb up, and that works a different muscle.
You can also start palm down
Yep.
and then go palm up, because that's what the bicep does.
So you rotate, you're emphasizing getting more bang for your buck, so to speak.
See, you know, right now too, when I've been doing curls with a bar, Brad, and when I do a curl, I have a straight bar,
Yep.
and my hand gets supinated as much as, and it's actually hard on my elbow.
Sure.
So these, I'm actually just talked to Alex about this, that I was going to switch to these now.
Yep.
And I'm gonna use these because I can go more like this across.
Right.
It's not as hard on my elbow.
It's like a PNF pattern.
Yeah.
In the therapy world, that's important.
I'm going up to the opposite shoulder.
Sure.
I'm still getting a good bicep workout, but I'm not as much stress on the elbow.
Let me see that one, Bob.
Sure.
I just came up with an idea. Just to kind of be fun, you know. Could you go across like that?
Double, yeah, PNF patterns.
Here you go.
Look at that. The Brad Heineck method.
All right, let's go to triceps. I'm having too much fun.
All right, triceps. A lot of ways to do this without equipment, isn't
Right. I like this particular technique. If you start out like this and you go palms here, okay? Now this is infinitely variable. You can make it easier or harder. So I'm doing this, okay?
So you start with palms flat, the forearms flat on the floor.
And not so much out here, but underneath, it works better. Okay, if you get closer this way, it gets quite a bit harder. I just moved about 2 inches. Okay, and then if that gets too easy, we're going to shoot for 10 to 15 reps between sets. You can go up to this pyramid or the teepee. Okay, and you can try it down here as well.
Ooh, looks
Oh
tough.
yeah, it's fun. Strong like bull, Bob. I must say we're getting strong like
You
bull.
haven't pulled that chestnut out in a while, have you?
Exactly. Chestnut, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
All right. Triangle push-ups. This was one of my
Sure.
favorites.
I'm going to get ready for the next one, Brad.
Okay, yeah, you go get ready. Make sure you come back. So this is my triangle right there. Okay? I put that down here, getting that push-up. You can start on the knees if you haven't done these, and you will definitely feel more triceps working than anything. Plus, you're getting other stuff to it, so it's not just a tricep, it's just an emphasis. And the full push-up. And I always like to get my sternum to touch my fingers on that. It works. Okay, Bob, let's carry on.
So you want to do some in the chair, right?
Sure.
Well, one, if you have a chair with good solid arms, you could do it this way, right?
Right,
I mean, you
yeah.
can put your legs out like this. And
Sure.
This is kind of a beginner, isn't it?
Right.
So, but you're talking about going off the edge of the chair, right?
Sure.
But in that case, then want to make sure you have a solid chair.
Yeah, so you stay
then-
safe.
You're down like this.
Right. Try to keep your knee. Can you keep your knees straight
Yeah,
with that?
I can. Of course I
all
can, Brad.
Oh, there you go.
So this is a pretty hefty workout. I'm not thrilled about it, Brad, because I am kind of a little bit at end range.
Right, as
you know
far
what I
as
mean?
extension?
Yeah, extension. I'd rather be more in the middle range here.
Right, right.
Where you're kind of under control.
Right.
But-
Ideally, some parallel bars would be good, but it's hard to find those in the office or at home.
Or a dip bar, you know.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right.
those work out well,
Right.
too.
Yeah, like if it's higher though, like this, Bob, I think it might be a little easier. So the height of it may make a difference.
Well, let me see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not as extended as far either.
Right.
no.
So if you did it up to a cupboard, it'd even be a little easier.
Right. Yeah. So you have a band over a door?
Right. Well, if you've got a door and you've got a band, because you got your band for biceps,
Right.
and you have a door, which oftentimes in a house or an office there is a door.
Sure.
And we don't have it in this room though, Bob, so that's a problem. But use your imagination. I'm going to use this.
Sure.
But this will go over the door, and the door would be this way, and one hand would be on one side of the door, the other hand would be on the other
gotcha.
side of the door. Bob, you're pretty tall. Can you? We're just going to use this clip up here to there. Wow, nice work.
People always say I'm pretty tall, but you notice they never say I'm pretty good looking?
Well, no, someone said, well, they didn't really say you're good looking, but
No,
they
they
said,
did. Of course
said
they did.
something.
They said something, yeah.
So if this was over the door, and the door would be right here, so my nose would be right on the end of the door. So one eye looked down one side of the door, and one eye the other. That'll play games with your mind, I think. But anyways, watch this. You're just gonna now watch my elbows. I'm not going to be doing this or this. Its elbows are straight or
This
stationary.
part is stationary, the upper arm.
Right.
And you're just moving on the lower arm.
Don't try and close the door when you do this because that'll be a problem. You know, if someone's trying to get through.
Sure, I gotcha.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny before I said it.
Yeah. Maybe you should try some of those things before you say them out loud, Brad. Run them
Sorry.
through your head
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, that gives you some, some alternatives to do at home when you're trying to, or in the office when you're trying to beef up a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we're not talking about people who are getting, massive. We're talking about people that want to stay in shape.
Stay toned. Get rid of the chicken wing or whatever
Right.
they're called.
And
the
still
flabby
work
thing.
40 hours a week and raise their family.
So, all right. Take care.